Here are 6 myths about the Maffetone method that you may want to know prior to starting. Now, before we start, you need to know what the Maffetone method is. The Maffetone method is an approach to training that focuses on lifestyle, and it uses heart rate training as the key component to measure your fitness. And it is a way of building up your aerobic base without getting injured, without burning out, while still enjoying the sport that you love to do. And in my case, it's running. My name's David, I'm the plant-powered runner, and the reason why you would want to listen to me is I've been using this method for many years. I've run an ultra marathon, I've run marathons, half marathons, and I've actually gotten 3 minutes faster per kilometer when I started using this method, all within 1 year. And if you incorporate it into your running and give it a chance, you may see similar results. We're all different. You may see it faster, you may see it may take longer for you, or it may come really fast. It just all depends on you as a runner as to how your aerobic base is currently built. My aerobic base was very poor, and I've worked very hard at trying to get faster by running slower, all by running at the same heart rate. And it works. But there are some myths that you need to understand prior to starting this method. Myth number 1 is the Maffetone method takes a long time to see results. While it is true, we are all different and seeing results may not be as fast as you would like, but it does take time and it does work. The key to it really at the end of the day is the consistency, how much effort you put into this and how long you continue to put in the miles. If you don't give it a chance, you're not going to see the results. There are runners who are going to see results fairly quickly when they start using this method. You could see it as soon as, a month or 2 or maybe 3. Now, for some of you, that may seem like a lifetime of running slow, but when you don't have an aerobic base that's being built and your aerobic base is very poor, you got to start somewhere, and starting at scratch may be where you need to be. Myth number 2, my VO2 max is going to suffer. Well, guess what? It probably will, because you're not training. You're not trying to get your VO2 max up. You're training to build a strong aerobic base, a strong foundation of health. And yes, it's true that your VO2 max will drop. However, when it comes time to putting in some more speed work back in, then you'll start to see your VO2 max go up again. But you'll also notice that you're running faster, all at the same low heart rate. Myth number 3, I'm never going to be able to get faster just by running slow. And this is false. In the time that I've used this approach, the Maffetone method has proven time and time again that it works. You will be able to run faster at a low heart rate in time once you've built up your aerobic base. And when you have, you will be able to add in speed work. If you want to run on the trails, if you wanted to start doing some tempo runs, some thresholds, some 100s, look, the method is very adaptable. You're able to do these things. You're not meant to continuously always build your aerobic base because you will plateau. And if you do, you know that adding in some speed is going to work. Dr. Phil Maffetone has talked about that. It's not just slow running. There is speed that is included in this type of training. Myth number 4. It's all about the formula, 180 minus your age. It's not. There's so many other factors that come in to using heart rate training. And so if you are looking at using the Maffetone method, you'll want to look at a few things of what's going on in your life, okay? The primary thing that you want to pay attention to is what kind of environment are you in, right? Because if you are in a very stressful environment, If you are an executive or you're on your feet all day in a factory, or you're doing just the 9 to 5, but you've got kids and you're trying to manage a family, look, there's a lot of stress involved in that. And so it's not necessarily all about the formula. You have to factor in all of these other things, because if you don't, you're going to be let down. You're going to give up. You're not going to enjoy it. And it is a myth that it's all about the formula. There's much more to it. If you can get your eating under control, if you can get your diet under control, your stress under control, sleep under control, you are probably going to have a better time using the Maffetone method, because it's all based on heart rate. Your heart rate doesn't lie. It knows when you're stressed. It knows when you're sick. It knows when things aren't going right. And so that, to me, is something that I wish I had known. But it is a myth that 180 minus your age is the only thing that you should be focusing on. Myth number 5. The Maffetone method is going to make me a sloppy runner. What do I mean by that? My form is going to break down. I'm not going to be running efficiently. Look, there's a lot of us out there, me included, where I did a lot of heel striking. Now, heel striking for me wasn't good. It put a lot of pounding on my knees in the wrong way, and it wasn't an enjoyable feeling, and I felt it. So once I slowed down and I started running, and I became more of a forefoot runner, where my feet would land under my center of mass, things changed a lot. And I became a better runner. I took more steps per minute than I did when I was overreaching, when I was like taking these long bounding, strides. And I cleaned things up. A lot of people don't like running slow because they think it really kind of ruins their whole entire gait. But if you adjust your gait so you're taking more steps, like your cadence, right? You're taking more steps per minute, that can really improve on how you're running. And if you take it one step further, if you start to do some hill running as part of the Maffetone method, then your form will clean up as well, because you can't land on your heel when you're running up a hill. It's totally different. You've got that slight forward lean, and you're landing on the right part of your feet. So the Maffetone method has really taught me that I can become a more efficient runner because I'm running slow. So that way, when it comes time for me to start adding in some speed sessions, I'm ready for it. Myth number 6. Every year I'm going to have to reduce my heart rate by 1 beat. And that's untrue. You don't have to do that. As long as you are seeing results in your running, if you are getting faster at the same low heart rate and it continuously keeps working for you, there's no need to reduce a beat every year. You may want to take a look every 2 to 5 years to see how you're doing, just to check in to see if you're improving. That's why some of you have seen me running with a heart rate of 138. And you're like, Dave, what the heck's going on? Why are you running using that number? It's because I continuously see results. I'm not burning out. I'm not getting injured. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean that you gotta keep reducing the beats per minute. Remember that. You gotta celebrate on your birthday, but you don't need to reduce it by a beat. The Maffetone method makes everyone a slow runner, and that is further from the truth. What the Maffetone method allows you to do is to slowly build up your aerobic base over time, getting faster at the same heart rate. So if you start off with 138 beats per minute and you run in that zone from 128 to 138, and you do that on each run, at the end of the month, you're going to do a MAF test and you're going to see what your numbers come at. Now, the following month, you do another test and you see what happens. You should technically be getting faster than you were the previous month. Now, again, you have to train. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, isn't gonna cut it. You're gonna have to put in the work. So maybe 4 days a week, you're running, and 2 days you rest or you do something else, cross train. That may be the secret sauce. Or for some of you, you may have to run a little bit further. Running like 1 mile may not work. A MAF test requires at least 3 miles, right? 5 miles to see, so you can measure your results. As long as you're doing your MAF test and as long as you're seeing improvement, it'll give you the confidence to continue. But we're all different. It will all take a different amount of time to see the result, but it does come. And it does make you a faster runner. It builds your aerobic base, and it keeps you out of the injury box. The Maffetone method only works for elites, or the Maffetone method only works for recreational runners. That's further from the truth. We can all benefit if we haven't built an aerobic base. Some of us will have a strong aerobic base and we will see very, very, very small gains. Some of us have a very poor aerobic base and we will see larger gains. It just depends on the runner or the cyclist. So pay attention to that, because that is a big myth. We can all see benefits based on using the Maffetone method. And again, it's heart rate training, guys. That's what it comes down to. If you can measure your heart rate, you should be good. It's not very complicated, but people can make it very complicated. And I'm going to talk to you in another video in the coming weeks on how I approach my training using the Maffetone method and how I'm seeing the results that I see. Trying to hold your form running slow is hard. It's not about, it's much easier to keep a good form if you're running fast, provided that you've got the cadence and you're not overstriding. So slowing it down, taking more baby steps and feeling like it's shuffling, yeah, that's hard and it's not easy, and not everyone is gonna get it right and not everyone is gonna enjoy it. But it's kind of the process. It's the old man shuffle, really, and it kind of sucks. But if you're younger, you may think you're detraining and things like that. But at the end of the day, when you start doing the speed work after you build your base, you're gonna find that things start to go a little easier. Yes, a bunch of things are gonna feel like it's broken down and you're much slower than you were before. But when you build your body back up, man, oh man, it's a pretty amazing feeling. I know I've gone through it. Maybe not everyone's gonna go through it, but this is what I've experienced. Like I always say, get out and run. See you next week.